15 minutes. I'll double check that when I get back to the pits actually, so I might have to go up earlier. Right, let's do this.
Yo, JD here, Tyrrell Limus, and this league race here is from WOR, and this is actually round 5, and this was done quite a while ago. You can see by my steering wheel here, and invalidated my first qualifying lap so far, which will go on to the main lap here now. And yeah, this is a league that I stream every single Monday, 8 PM, which is a league I really enjoy quite a bit, and super competitive. Quite a lot of people are in the same league as ILR, with a few exceptions. But yeah, this race was done quite a while ago, and I've started to upload these ones again, so doing a little bit of a catch up. And as I said, you can tell it's from a while ago because I'm actually using my old rim with the new cockpit. This is my first race with the new cockpit, the GT track from Next Level Racing, which there's actually a link down in the description down below. You can get 10% off any of their cockpits with that link through there. But yeah, I was pretty apprehensive coming to this race, a track that hasn't always been a massive favourite of mine, and a brake marker border was missing there, which I was really struggling with in this qualifying session. But coming to this one, not really too involved in this championship. I think I'm in 5th place, and I wasn't even sure how many points I was off the championship lead at this point, because I missed a race and then was out of points for another race. But I did win around Spain in this league, so still all to play for. And yeah, just trying to do my best here and just trying to get the good lap in. And I felt this is one of the points where my pace, it's been very good for the last 2 bumps now, but I think this is one of the turning points where I felt, you know what, it's not just a one-off now, this is actually something that's happened quite consistently. And coming across line here, made a bit of a mistake in the middle sector by braking quite early, but we managed to do a 29.1, which actually puts me P3 on the grid. Oh, sorry, P6 on the grid, which I wasn't really too happy with. But considering that mistake, I knew there was plenty more time within that lap itself, and was really looking forward to this one. So starting in 6th place, everything all to play for. Got likes of LCR, Leopard, Syra, Sans Eving, all those guys who do IOR as well. But this track is quite harsh on tyres. One stop, as I said, could go on a softer compounded quali, but then you'd pretty much be having to do definitely a 2-stop in this race. But now we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Trying to get a good start here, which I don't get a terrible start. It's actually a pretty average regional start. Someone alongside me, he's got an incredible start next to, I think that's BRL Porondi, who a very quick driver. His connection is a bit out of context, and
fuck off.
Yeah, we make the slightest bit of contact with him, and he is gone to the very back of the field, and we have gotten the legal overtake, which means really well, we have to go let him pass, because I've learnt my lesson before in the league race. If I didn't let him pass, I was going to get a stop-go penalty, and I would have to have served that in the pits, which meant I'd have had no chance. So I knew I was going to lose a lot more time. As you can see, there's probably a little bit of complaining in this video. This was done, I say, over a month ago now. This race was just done quite a while ago. But yeah, I knew I had to let him pass, because then I'd be losing a lot less time than I would have done. But this race is very important to me, because I think this is the turning point of my form, as I said, and mainly just my mental attitude, because I used to moan quite a lot before and just didn't really get on with it. But this, throughout the race, I was moaning a bit at the start, but then really, I think after this, just showing what I could do with the pace I showed here and everything, just showed what I was actually capable of, and just made me definitely a lot more mature as we're thinking about going down the inside of Porondi, which we do on the right hand, and he, fair play to him, he gives me quite a lot of room on the inside there. And now we're into 13th place, and we lost a lot of time on that first lap with that really small contact. Luckily he didn't spin round, but we just had to wait for him with that illegal overtake, as I said, because I just didn't want to get held in the pits for a very long time. And now we start to make our way through the field a little bit as someone is going super out wide. But now I said to myself, you can see the Lou group there's quite a distance ahead now. I was just so determined to try and make up positions. We've gone down the inside of Tom 123 FTW, and that is now us into 12th place in this race. I'm making our way through the field quite nicely. I was really just taking my time. I'm not trying to overdrive the car or anything. I just tried to get myself in a good rhythm. And yeah, this was really calm mental approach. It's probably this first time I really had this kind of approach in a long time. as we get a little bit of a warning there, which
Probably going to get a penalty this race, inevitable.
yeah, this track is pretty easy to get warnings because it's a little bit inconsistent, the track limits really. But now we're behind a top Tom, so another Tom here, as Promdy's actually followed through behind. And now we've gone down the inside of him, so a pretty simple move. And now we've got CRGA Holland in front of me, and he's actually on the soft tyre, so it's good to actually be behind him because he should help. Well, his tyre should actually be wearing in quite a bit now, and he should really be faster than me probably at this point in the race. So if we could stick with him, we could actually close up on the group ahead. And at this point, as I said, I was just driving in a really calm manner, whereas in the past I probably would have been overdriving quite excessively. And you can see here we've definitely caught up to the guys ahead, and a lot of people pitted, and now we're in P5 in this race. And yeah, we were just using Holland quite nicely to try and catch those guys up whilst leaving the guys behind, like top Tom, Prondy and those people. And we decided to pit a little bit later than them, and I think everyone on the super soft tyre, which I'm on now, has now come into the pit. So we should have at least the joint freshest tyres on this strategy going towards the end of the race. So we've got CRG Pinecone ahead of me, and I'm not sure who else that is in the McLaren. I think that might be Snazzy Evening in coming out in the net lead, or I think Siren might have taken over the lead. But now we've got to see what position we come out in, and we're dropping positions now, going that extra lap. But the fresher tyres really do make a big difference here. And now we've got OMG, it's Joe, just slightly making our way past me now. And you'll probably hear a lot of commentary about what I'm saying about Joe here, but I wouldn't really take it too seriously. But now we've got to try and warm up these tyres, which are definitely easier than if it was a medium or hard tyre. But the soft tyres still take a good lap to warm up here. And coming through here now.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah. He decides to take that wide line, which was a familiar theme for the rest of the race. You can see how much he is pulled away already. He is pulled away so much. And it is crucial that you really do practice on warming up your tyres coming out the pit. So just trying to get used to them as quick as possible, because they could give you seconds in a race. Seriously, they could give you absolute seconds here. But again, wasn't losing my head or anything considering the bad start we had. And pace looking very nice at the moment. Among one of the quickest guys on the track here, and slowly starting to close in on the group of cars ahead of me, but we're still out of a points paying position at this point. And now we've got VSR Verstappen, I think he's pitted a lap earlier than me or something around those lines, and it's crucial we get past him as quick as we can. So coming through to here now.
What is Joe doing?
Yeah, he's taking another wide line once again, but we get a very good exit off here. And one of these corners where I'd say it's a slingshot corner, we go slow in, fast out. We get a very nice exit, and you can see VSR Verstappen, he actually decides to put down his DRS, and yeah, appreciate that. He pretty much let me pass there, and didn't really fight that too hard, which is good because that means I can carry the momentum. And kind of going off on one of Joe, and if you were in the live stream chat, I think a lot of people going off on him as well. But oh well, that's just how it is, and that's not, something he could change, but hopefully track limits will be a lot stricter. And yeah, I got off track a little bit myself there, so I think everyone was a little bit guilty of it, but maybe to that degree, maybe not so much. But now we've got to try and close in them, and I think we've got to stay on board for the next couple of laps now, because this is a pretty important part of the race. Still in 10th place, so we are in the points positions now, but I was looking, I was pretty excited at this point in the race, because I could see I was catching that group quite quickly ahead of me. And as I said, I think this race was probably the turning point in my form recently, where when things are not going well, just to still keep my composure and just try and deliver the pace that I do myself in the practice, and just keeping calm. And I think that's a big thing, to try and not lose your head, because if you lose your head, I'm pretty guilty of overdriving at times, and I know a lot of other people are guilty of that as well. But just remembering how to manage your ERS and just the fuel and everything, just the little details really do add up. And I was getting quite excited now because I didn't have a penalty at this point in the race, and I was catching the group ahead, and I said to myself, I'm going to get a good result here. And I was just having fun at this point, and that's what I've really had in this league. I've just had a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend signing up to a league of WOR or IOR. And it's very easy to do. All you have to do is tweet it, and literally just ask anyone or go to the website, and it's easy to sign up. But coming through here now, this is the corner where I think I made so much time. Going through here, carried a lot of apex speed, which my setup is is Joe again. But yeah, my setup is really quite slippery on the straight and very good in the corners, and I was just really just keeping up the momentum on the traction, checking if he's got a step ahead, as we've actually caught up to Pinecone. As you can see in the pits, when they came out of the pits, he was quite a long way ahead of me, so caught up to Pinecone. I think it's already starting to struggle in his tyres, because the tyres are very difficult to manage around here. As I said, even without the tyre temps, they're still pretty hard to manage. And again, kind of similar to Verstappen, I think Pinecone has just decided really to let me go here, which again I'm pretty thankful for. And now we're up into 8th place with another 3 cars in very close proximity. And if you looked at the start of the race of how far away the leaders were, we've definitely made some inroads onto that lead. And yeah, again, I was just, you can see here, they're just going through almost over start finish line now. It'd be interesting to see what it is at the end of the race. But see, taking the super wide line here, I really enjoy using first gear through here. Probably my favourite corner to use first gear on. Just really satisfying. I think probably one of the only corners that I feel it's pretty useful on in this game. I know a lot of people use it before, but I try and avoid it as much as possible. Coming through here, a lot more aggressive in these corners than I was in the qualifying, which I think I could have made up a lot of time in the first sector here on the quality lap and in the middle sector as well. But it's this corner here, 5th gear, you can see how much time we gain, and I just know I just need to throw it in these corners as much as possible. And Joe again, go get a good exit, so it's pretty hard to match him on the exit speed. But if I can just get in his DRS, which I do, you can see I get in DRS now, and that was just absolutely crucial. 10 laps of the race to go. We've actually caught up to infamous BRL João Pedro and OMG's Joe. As the BRL Joe Pedro, I think he's gone out wide, or I think he's lagging quite a bit, which a bit of a shame, because the two BRL people are lagging quite a bit. But Cyrus also didn't really lag for me at all, and I knew again I needed to get past him. So really just being aggressive when I needed to be, but being quite controlled whilst I was doing it, if that makes sense. And now we've got a good exit up here now, and I think he has got DRS as well. And again, it's crucial that we get past him. We cannot afford to get held down. Plus, he's lagging quite a bit as well. So we're going to go down the inside. And again, similar to Verstappen and Pinecone, I think he allows me to go through there. And yeah, as I said, I was being aggressive this race with my driving and overtakes, but just doing it when I knew I had to do it, and not being aggressive or reckless when I didn't need to do it. So come through here now again, and yeah, Joe again. I think every single lap he's done that. Might be different in his screen, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but nonetheless I think we do have much better pace in him at this point in the race, as Perondi's actually left. I think his connection was definitely playing up quite a bit, as Joe has actually now overtaken Infamous, who I think is a really underrated driver in my opinion. I've been racing him in sprint mode for the last couple of years now, and I think he's a very good driver. I'm not sure if he's on the wheel or pad, I think he's on the wheel, but very good driver. And now we're into 7th place in this race, with 5th place just right in front of me. So using the ERS and fuel quite efficient here. Still got quite a bit of fuel left in this race as well. So fuel's not as bad as I actually thought around here. And now we've got BRL right behind us. Can't say his last name. I think it's Pedro the last name. So we've got Pedro right behind me. And yeah, again, just taking my time once again. And you can see on the minimap, excuse me, we've definitely made some time up on the leader. So I say right now, we are probably, well, looking at the race director, yeah, we were the quickest car on track at this point. And again, trying to get past Infamous again, because putting it back into overtake, need to get past him, because I really need to just stay with Joe. So go try and go down the inside. Says he's on the super soft tyre, but I can confirm that was completely incorrect. It was just a graphic glitch. He was definitely on the soft tyre here. And you can see going through this corner, this is where I really do make quite a lot of time here. So for a left-hander, was thinking about maybe going inside, but we're definitely too far back this time, as myself and Infamous just about stay on the track. But getting a good exit, but with the dirty air, it's very hard to stay with him here. And you can see losing a little bit of downforce whilst I was behind him. But going through here now, Infamous has made a little bit of a mistake going out wide just a lap or so later. And now it was quite hard to get past him, because he had DRS on Joe, and I really need to get closer to him, but he's gone out wide. And this is one of my favourite corners of the track again, another slingshot corner, as I always like to say. And coming through here now, he's gone a little bit wide, and now we're just going to carry the extra speed and go down the inside of him here, leaving some racing room on the outside, some nice fair racing between us, as Joe, I think he's giving me a little bit of slipstream, and that is the move done. But Infamous is actually coming back. He looks like he's got quite a quick car in a straight line, so we're going to defend ever so slightly. spotting the apex pretty nicely, and now we go pull it into a hot lap, just making sure that I stay with Joe here. Still got quite a lot of fuel to expend, so that wasn't really too much of an issue. Put it into no ERS just to get that little bit of better traction, and it looks like we should definitely still be within the DRS as Joe once again goes out wide and gets a very good exit off here. But yeah, should hopefully be in the DRS, which I am, thankfully so. And we're going to be moving on to the last few laps of this race now. But lap 22, we were starting to put a lot more pressure on Joe. We're in 6th place in this race with 5th right ahead, and you can see the leaders, they are struggling on tyres, and we have gained so much time. As Snazzy Evening is in the middle of the road, but I can confirm that was actually a glitch. He was still leading this race in the Force India, so yeah, he's still leading. The connection was a little bit dodgy in this session.
We were in last.
But yeah, just as I was saying there, we were in last, considering how far behind we were on the first lap, but we had to wait for that illegal overtake. I was really happy with this little comeback that I did, and was really determined to try and get a good result here. As Joe has gone a little bit deep now, and again, this should be quite similar to Pinecone. I don't think he's going to fight this too hard, or I was hoping he wouldn't, so go put in a hot lap overtake. And again, I think he just turned down his ERS because he knew there's no real point fighting too hard in this race. And now we've got about a 3 or so second gap, or 4 second gap to more so. But coming on to the last lap, I can confirm that we were just absolutely just rapid with our pace. And what could have been in this race, considering how far we were behind on the first lap, we've closed in on the leaders so much by pitting that lap extra. We've just gained so much time in them. I think they were good 7-8 seconds ahead of us at one point. And yeah, we've just managed to slowly just make our way through the field. And now I was really hungry to try and get this podium, as Morso and Syra are battling very hard, which I know Syra was going to defend very rigorously coming into here. So trying to get a good exit, but very hard on the traction, because I think everyone's tyres are starting to go off now. Managing to drop Joe just a little bit behind me. And now I was just really hoping that they would start to battle, because I could pull off a podium from the position I was in. That would have been a great result. And now we're going to leave it in rich here, because we've got enough fuel to go to the end of the race and trying to get a good exit of this corner. And we've still got some ERS to play with as well, so we've got to take a super wide line and again try and get the traction coming off here, put it into hot lap, and look how quickly we're gaining on CLG Morso. We're going to go down the inside of him like I did to Biro Pedro, trying to force him off the track just a little bit, making a little bit of contact, and just being forced out just a little bit on the exit of the track. And coming across the line now, we come home in 5th place. And yeah, I was really happy with that race, actually. In fact, I think we did get one penalty in the end, which did cost me a podium. But considering the position we're in, I definitely think this was the turning point in my recent form. And I'll start uploading these races, actually, because the last few races have been very good. So I always plan to make highlights of the stream that I do. So thank you so much for watching once again. Hopefully you've enjoyed this race. No championship table for this, but I think at this point I was 5th place in this championship. But I will be uploading these as well. ILR at Italy is this Friday, so make sure you stay tuned for that at 7:30. But again, thank you so much, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.